Freedom in monogamy. This is such a great topic. Is there freedom in monogamy? So I think there is freedom in monogamy, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't still be in a monogamous relationship. But for me, it is dependent on a couple of things. One, okay, sorry, I'm too excited to hop into this. One, only if you have space to be yourself. Two, if there is mutual acceptance of each other's differences and, well, basically each other's individuality. Three, vulnerable communication. And then four, not sacrificing yourselves. So one, space to be yourself. There is freedom in monogamy if there is space to be yourself. So I literally say space because you cannot always be like this with your partner. You have to have your own time, your own friends, I think, your own journey. Remember that you have your own journey. It's not always together, and your own hobbies. I think that having space to be yourself, to like what you like and not like what you don't like, and not to always have someone that basically says, well, I do like this restaurant, so we are going here because it's time for you to sacrifice. None of that. You can't be tethered. You can't be together all the time. I know my parents, for example, believe, which not talking down on anyone that is a Christian or anything like that, but they told me that they believe that the two become one flesh. And that is a complete opposite of what I aim for in my monogamous relationship. We are two individuals, which leads to the second point, going towards whatever we want to go towards, our own individual goals. And then we also have goals together. That's where that closeness comes in, but we don't get too close that we're enmeshed, which is why we have space to be ourselves. So space for me could look like going for a walk, taking myself out to dinner, going to a movie. And if you notice that all of these things don't require anybody else. So it's not me spending time with my friends. I need space from them as well. But yeah, just space to be you. Space for you to check in with yourself. Space to journal. Space to just breathe. Space to do nothing, but just be with your own self, be with your own thoughts, space that you aren't with your partner. I think that is a huge thing to have freedom, or for there to be freedom in a monogamous relationship. Two, mutual acceptance of each other's individuality. So I think that this is very important because if you do not respect or accept your partner's individuality, then it's going to be hard for you to give them the space to be themselves. I feel like you're going to become very controlling. It's going to become not a relationship, but a controlship, where you're controlling them and molding them to be what you think that they should be. Again, I talked about this in the previous video. When me and my partner first started dating and we made it official, I was cutting his hair, styling his hair, dressing him, and telling him where we should and shouldn't be going. And I no longer do that because that was me controlling him. Now I accept him as he is. He is way more quirky than me. He is way more go with the flow than me, and I love it. I love it. If anything, I think it balances out perfectly. But I had to accept him to basically give him that freedom and space to be himself. And what you'll find out is when you give your partner space to be themselves and you accept them as they are, you almost teach them how to do that for you. And that is not the case all the time, but I do know that I've noticed that when I've accepted my partner and all his flaws and things that kind of get on my nerves and just loved him regardless, he's done the same thing with me, because I know there are certain qualities of myself that pop up sparingly, not often, very rarely, that pop up that he's oof, see, this is the side of you that I wish wasn't there. But there's love there, there's acceptance there, and you realize we're human beings. We are not perfect. We are a whole plethora of things. There are so many good, great, beautiful things about all of us, but there are also some things that we are all working on that can get really ugly if we don't do the work. So mutual acceptance on both sides, I think, is very important for there to be freedom within a monogamous relationship. Vulnerable communication. I have made a video about this, but I will talk about it again because I think this is a lot of the glue that has kept me and my partner together. Vulnerable with yourself for one, and vulnerable with your partner for two are very important, and you need to learn, how do I be vulnerable? What does vulnerability look like? And that means saying the hard stuff, having the tough conversations, not sugarcoating things, saying things that will make you uncomfortable, sitting through that uncomfort and still saying it, because that's your truth. And if you're not being truthful, honest, and authentic in your relationship, what are you doing? You're basically playing around. I mean, if you're not being your true self, your authentic self and speaking your truth, then you're playing a part. And to me, you're not free within yourself first, and then there's no way there's gonna be freedom in that monogamous relationship. The last one is not sacrificing yourselves. So I think this is very, very, very unique and very individualized. Every person has a different line, and it changes day by day. For me, it changes. Like today, I might be able to sacrifice a little bit more. Tomorrow, I might not, and it just depends. But I do think that it's very important for you to be able to check in with yourselves as well as your partner and figure out, is this too much for me? Am I sacrificing too much? For me, what I've noticed is it's very important for me to fill my cup up. And when I say fill my cup up, I do that by spending time with myself, spending time with my family, listening to the music that I like to listen to, going on wine tastings, going to watch a movie, laughing really hard at a favorite TV show, doing YouTube videos, going shopping. These are things that fill my cup up and just make me feel very, I was gonna just like rub myself, very loving towards myself. And whenever my cup is very full, which is an example with YouTube, whenever my cup is full, I'm able to pour over to other folks and share my experience and not fear the hate, judgment, and the evil comments that come down in the section below, because my intention is just to support, have a conversation, and just engage with the community. And same goes with my partner. When my cup is full, I'm able to go to a haunted house, which is not one of my biggest things to do because I do not like being scared, but I'll go to that with him because I know he loves doing that, and I just love seeing the joy and happiness in his face because that's my life partner, and his happiness is just as important to me as mine, but mine's definitely more important. Just put that out there. But I cannot enjoy or help him or support him along his journey and fully love him if I don't take care of myself first. And taking care of myself means, is this too much? Can I do this? Or am I sacrificing myself too much? So I think that's the fourth and last thing off the top of my head. Well, not off the top of my head, I did take notes and then bring this video to you all. But these are like 4 very important things I think that in a monogamous relationship help to ensure that, yeah, you're just operating freely. On that note, remember to be the change you wish to see today. Take care.